What value, belief, or childhood memory would be served in clearing out of your system so that there is a release of parent limitation? Are you willing to look carefully at the source of your motivation? Energy goes where intention flows. And this week, we're going to take a deeper dive into your inner guidance system and how your intention is the road to empowerment.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Irizarry. I'm an East Asian medicine practitioner who is passionate about women's health and helping women to live their best lives. My goal is to put you in the driver's seat of your health, offering holistic solutions for a symptom-free life. Statements made in this program are for educational purposes only and not intended as a substitution for medical consultation or advice. We do not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases. This podcast is inclusive and welcomes all gender identities. The focus of the program is on biological function, and we will use the term women throughout, but it is referencing physiological and social challenges for biology, not identity. Come as you are, I am happy you're here and welcome all performances of identity. I hope you find something helpful in this show.
Welcome back to another episode of the Reproductive Rebel podcast. I have always in this podcast been a proponent of talking about health in a way that nobody else is talking about it. And today's episode is absolutely no different. If you have taken a look at the logo for the Reproductive Rebel podcast, it is the embodiment of the goddess Artemis, or Diana, depending on whether you're looking at the Greek or the Roman tradition. I think Artemis is a badass, and her vibe totally fits where I wanted to go with this show. And the reason I'm drawing your attention to this is this whole episode is about intention. So Artemis is a Greek goddess. She embodies several significant symbols that represent her diverse roles. She's known for her association with the hunt, the moon, and childbirth. You see why I like her so much?
And now a break from our conversation for a partnership message. You've been told to hustle, grind, wake up early, and do more. But here's the truth. Rest is the most productive thing you can do. And the right kind of rest starts with Sia Silk Sleep Mask, your new sleep sanctuary. I've tried so many sleep masks, and I thought I just had to deal with the discomfort of slipping straps and light still getting through. But then I found this one, and I'm never going back. Made of 100% mulberry silk, it's the only mask that creates total blackout with its comfortable, oversized eye cups that don't smush my lashes while feeling weightless on my face. My sleep? Next level. This isn't just a sleep mask, it's an investment in your nervous system. Sia Silk is a women-owned small business committed to high quality and sustainable luxury. Check out the show notes for the link to grab yours and rest like you mean it. And now, back to the show.
So a lot of symbolism with Artemis is the bow and arrow, like you see in the logo for Reproductive Rebel, or her association with the moon, like you see in Reproductive Rebel, and that connection with being lunar. She's also often linked with a stag or a doe, representing her connection to the wild and the untamed. Sounds like the embodiment of this show, right? So Artemis is a really powerful character, and one theme that you can associate with all of the mythology around her is the power of sovereignty and intention. So what is sovereignty? Sovereignty is being established in yourself so that you can witness yourself. It helps you to be able to live in alignment with the truth that is unfolding in each moment. It helps you to step outside the situation and check in with your inner guidance system and decide whether something feels aligned or not. That's a very powerful position to make decisions from. So, being able to rely on your inner knowing, I know that we've talked about this in past episodes, but when it comes to this Artemis energy and this alignment and this sovereignty that we're talking about, being able to check in with that inner guidance system is incredibly powerful. And some of us can just drop into our body and get very clear with this is a hell yes or a fuck no, right? I don't know if you've heard that before, but I laughed the first time that somebody said that to me. And I was like, oh, but it's so true. Like when somebody presents an idea to you, you can feel it in your body. It's either a hell yes, that sounds like a great idea, let's do it. Or there's a little bit of hesitation, or it is a hard pass. Anything that falls in the hesitation and hard pass category is a no. And as women, we often downplay the hesitation piece. Your body tends to hesitate when it knows something before your brain has caught up with it. We have talked about this in past episodes this season. But in this particular instance, we're talking about it from the position of being an empowered person to be able to make decisions that are aligned with your truth. And that's why I chose Artemis as the iconic image of Reproductive Rebel. She shoots straight and true. She is a balance in this masculine and feminine energy. She embodies action orientedness, which is masculine energy. She also represents the moon, which is that feminine energy, right? So women often get themselves into trouble when they are trying to compensate and protect themselves by staying in a masculine energy space. So every body, okay, embodies masculine and feminine energy. It doesn't matter what you have as a biological or gender performance. It doesn't matter. Every body embodies masculine and feminine energy. And usually one will step a little more to the forefront than the other. For women, there is a high number of women who've experienced either a little t or a big T trauma in their life and seek to control to keep themselves safe. They are action oriented, they are driven, they are a get things done kind of person. And that's not a bad thing unless that button stays on and you're unable to step into that receptive feminine flow energy. So when we talk about sovereignty, there is the fluidity and flexibility to be able to step into when you need to be action oriented and then check in with your inner guidance system and go, yes, I'm feeling pressure to go do this thing, but it doesn't feel aligned in my body to do that thing right now. And being able to hold boundaries around that inner guidance system, that inner knowing. So the more sovereign you become, the more reliant you become on that inner knowing to guide you. You are less influenced by the opinions and social expectations of people around you, and you come into yourself for the truth. Power can be out of alignment when it's being too heavily influenced by things outside of you. Okay. So being able to make decisions from an aligned place is true power. Think about it. A lot of times we associate power as a masculine thing, but being empowered means that you can do things from a sovereign place. You have the security and the knowing inside your body that is unshakable. And you're able to stay the course, kind of like an archer shooting an arrow. This is a hobby that my husband, God love him, got me a bow and arrow a couple of years ago, and it's been a wild couple of years. I haven't actually been able to start pursuing this as a hobby yet, but it's something that I intend to do. I read a book several years ago, quite a few years ago now, called Zen and the Art of Archery. And there is a powerful place of stillness within oneself in order to be able to shoot true. And it isn't an exercise of muscle, even though initially that's what people think. It is not brute force. It is actually coming into alignment and stillness in the body, which increases the archer's accuracy. So I'm very excited, actually, and I will keep you guys posted on when I actually get to start participating in this hobby that I have the things for, but I haven't carved out the time to be able to start doing anything with it yet. But I'm very excited about it because as a musician, there was a lot of that getting still inside of me in order to let the music flow through me. And energy goes where intention flows. So if you are focused on stress, on a lack of control, on the environment around you, on the opinions of others, that's where your energy goes. Instead of being able to disconnect and unplug from that and drop down into yourself, which can be very weird at first. Some of you listening to this are like, oh, I do that all the time. It's as natural as breathing. And some of you are like, drop down into myself. What the hell is this woman talking about? And we keep ourselves busy sometimes to distract ourselves from what comes up in that quiet space inside of yourself. So it can be unnerving. It can feel uncomfortable. You might feel restless at first because you're used to being busy all the time. You're used to filling idle time, whether it's with activities you need to do around your house, activities and kids' social schedules. Maybe it's, I know I don't want to go into this space, so I doom scroll and I mindlessly scroll in order to not tap in to what's going on and what I'm truly feeling. There's no shame in any of this. It's merely to raise awareness that you can make some very powerful decisions and bring your life into healthy alignment when you are more aware and more plugged into that inner knowing inside of yourself. So I think about it kind of like sitting on a throne and how regal you would feel sitting on a throne and the security of dropping in and sitting like a queen on a throne and making decisions from that empowered place. This feels good inside of my body. No, this doesn't feel good inside of my body. And having the courage, the alignment to keep that sovereignty, say, this doesn't work for me, whether it's a hell no or whether it's a not right now, it doesn't matter. We feel so much pressure from our outside environment to keep up appearances, to show up to all the things, to, always be on time, to look a certain way, that pressure, right? And social media reinforces that with their picture perfect narratives of, people showing household things in staged apartments that they don't live in because people can't maintain that level of sterilely clean in their own environment because they live in it. But that's not the face that they show to the world, right? So coming into that inner knowing, that inner guidance system can be incredibly difficult because it can feel like you're letting someone down. It can feel like you're failing. It can feel like you're less than. And it's only because there is a storyline that is playing in your head or in your heart that comes from some point in your past, or maybe multiple points in your past, that say, I have to justify my self-worth by always saying yes, by being perfect, by being the good girl, by always doing all of the things. I see so many women who are burnt out, so many women who are burnt out because they're trying to work like they don't parent and parent like they don't work. They're trying to keep their households looking like a Pinterest board, and it's not practical. Life is messy. Kids are messy. And when we stop and we slow down and we put our hands over our heart and we go, does this lifestyle really feel aligned to me?
And now we will take a short break from our episode to share an offering that will take your healing to a whole new level. How would it feel to stress less, feel more spaciousness in your body, all while reducing physical symptoms? I can tell you from personal experience, it's one of the most empowering and freeing experiences one can have. Rebel Remembered is a year-long journey using goddess archetypes, body wisdom, and ancient modalities to bring a level of health to your body unlike anything else. As a Chinese medicine practitioner, it has always been clear to me that the emotional body is at the root of physical symptoms in the body. This program is truly holistic, addressing physical symptoms by exploring spiritual and emotional themes, much like this episode. This opportunity only opens once a year, so be sure to get on the waiting list for when enrollment opens this fall. The link is in the show notes. And now, back to the show.
I spent the younger years of my life really worried about what everybody else thought and so stressed out when things were not perfect. And as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that I stressed myself out about these things because I felt like I had to prove my worth. And now I feel like I can make those decisions from a sovereign place. Somebody makes a request of me, I feel into my body and go, is this a hell yes or a fuck no? And if it's a fuck no, politely decline. That's power. Not being bulldozed into every little thing is power. And believe me, it takes practice because you'll make the decision to say no, and then you're going to second guess yourself. But guess who's second guessing it? It's your ego brain. It's not your body intuition. Your intuition never lies to you. Your inner knowing knows. And no one can give you anything or empower you with anything that you have not already given to yourself. So sovereignty is the true nature of power. What needs to be transacted or changed in your life for you to come into balance and the marriage of your masculine and feminine energies that live within you? Is it giving up control over the dishwasher? I know that can be a hot button in some households. Having it be loaded a certain way. Is it giving something like that up? Is it turning over the planning for date night to your partner? Where can you step back into the feminine? Feminine energy is receptive. Think about how female bodies are built. We're literally built to receive. And when we're able to step into that feminine energy, you work from a flow-like state. It's really hard when you are used to making all of the decisions from your ego brain and from your mind to find that balance. It totally takes practice. So give yourself grace. But when you can tap into your intuition and you can step back and allow masculine energy to fill that space, the masculine will be more masculine and your feminine will feel more feminine. Does that make sense? Because you're no longer trying to be the yin and the yang of the equation. You're now stepping into the yin or the feminine and allowing the yang or the masculine to step forward and be action oriented as it's wired to do. Most of the time when women move through the world in a masculine energy kind of way, it comes from trauma. Because there's either been an overemphasis on being perfect, and that plays into self-worth in the inner critic, or there's some form of trauma, little t or big T trauma. And I don't mean for this to be a triggering episode. That isn't the emphasis of this, but it's more a thought exercise in terms of reflecting within yourself. Why do I feel like I need to control this? Why do I feel like I need to make this decision from my head rather than from my body wisdom, from my heart, from my inner knowing? Because when push comes to shove and something scary happens, the body reacts before the brain catches up, because your inner guidance system, your intuition, your inner knowing knows. It knows what the right decision is for you before your brain ever catches up. So this is an opportunity to honor yourself and live in alignment with the truth within you and the truth that's unfolding in each moment. So if you don't take anything else from this episode, take with you that check-in of, is it a hell yes or is it a fuck no? And if there's even the smallest flicker of doubt, it means it's a no. You may have to sit with why it's a no. It may not be clear at the surface, and that's okay. But making empowered decisions that are truly aligned for you. And sometimes those decisions are scary as hell. I know when I went to move for a job, 13, 14 years ago, almost 14 years ago, the idea of leaving my family and leaving everything that I knew. So like I was leaving extended family and my parents, and I was a single parent. And so I was leaving my support network and I was moving to an area that I didn't know anybody for a job. And I was moving out of state as somebody who very much had been a homebody and lived pretty much in the same, 50 square mile geographical area my entire upbringing. All of a sudden, this was terrifying. So terrifying. And I almost talked myself out of taking the job. And as I was driving to my final interview for that job, I drove across a causeway and it opened up into a huge river on either side, and the sun was shining, and there were like those old-fashioned lamp posts. Anybody who is familiar with Route 4 in New Hampshire, when you're going from Portsmouth towards Durham, New Hampshire, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it opened up on both sides. Beautiful water, looked like diamonds shimmering. The sun was out. And I remember entering that part of the road and having this feeling in the deep core of my body that this is what I was meant to do. I didn't know why I knew it, but if they were going to hire me for this job, I knew that I was meant to move down to that area. And they did hire me and I did move. And for the first 3 or 4 months, it was really hard. And my head kept saying, girlfriend, what the fuck were you thinking? And my heart kept saying, hang in there. It's coming. And I didn't know why that was happening, but I just couldn't shake that inner knowing inside of my body that I had made the right decision, even though my head had all kinds of things to complain about. And then it became very clear to me why I made that move. And it was honestly one of the best decisions I've ever made. And it was honestly one of the scariest that I ever made. And I had a mentor early on in my career who used to say, leap and the net will appear. And that move was one of the most terrifying leaps I had ever made. And I trusted my heart. And it was one of the first decisions that I had made as a 20s something professional, that I truly trusted my inner knowing, my body wisdom, and that leap that my heart knew was going to be okay, but my head was backpedaling and trying to talk me out of. Your body never lies to you, and it might not be apparent why you felt a certain way on the surface. It may take some time, like it did for me, but your body never lies to you. What is meant to happen, what is aligned for you, your body knows. That resonant frequency where you can just feel that this is a good thing, it never lies to you. So one of the beautiful things I love about being a sound healer is that I'm working with frequency to help bring people into alignment. So you're working with vibration in alignment with somebody's inner guidance system, and it helps to bring you literally in the path of what it is that is most aligned for your journey. It is such a cool thing. And I love seeing how my clients change and how they talk and how they feeling navigate and all of these things. I love watching my clients grow through sound healing because their bases change, their bodies change, the way that their symptoms present change because you are changing the way the body vibrates at a cellular level. It is the coolest thing. So another way to change your alignment is to tap into your inner knowing and your intuition. So I am going to invite you to give yourself maybe even 5 minutes every day to just check in with your body and check in with decisions that you have ahead of you. A lot of times we go, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But you know what? Whenever people say, I don't know, they know. They know. They just don't like the answer. And they're afraid of the outcome, or they're afraid of the answer and what that means for them. Your inner knowing never, ever lies to you, but it doesn't mean that it won't get bumpy for a little bit as you take steps towards that aligned decision. So whenever you feel yourself getting ready to say, I don't know, stop and check in with your body, because more often than not, your body actually does know. We just don't like the answer. So being a sovereign being and sitting on your throne, you can shoot straight and true with any decision and anything that you have in your life, and being able to work from that place, that alignment is where the health and the healing really happen. Because if I've seen anything in the years that I've been doing this, when somebody is doing the work, in terms of physical symptoms, but they aren't comfortable with doing the inner work, that is where you hit a plateau and things stall out, because the vibration you hold in your body, the energy you hold in your body is stuck. It's staying stuck because you're keeping it stuck. So get curious. Where do you hold tension patterns in your body? When certain things are suggested to you, where do you feel yourself tighten up or lock up? And ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why am I resisting this? And I think you'll be surprised by the answer that arises for you. So if you take those 5 minutes and you check in and you ask your body, is this a hell yes or a fuck no? Maybe it's just looking at your schedule for the day and you go down the list of things that are required of you that day and you go, hell yes, fuck no, hell yes, fuck no. And reschedule things. Maybe it's because the baby kept you up all night and you're tired and you know you're not going to be articulate that day. Maybe it's that you don't feel as prepared for that meeting as you wanted to be and you want to be able to show up in the best way possible, so you move it out a little bit. It doesn't matter what it is. Your inner knowing never lies to you. So, is it a hell yes or is it a fuck no?
Thank you for joining me for another episode of Reproductive Rebel. Reproductive Rebel is recorded by certified peri-steam hydrotherapist and acutonics practitioner, herbalist, and Chinese nutritional therapist Adrienne Irizarry of Moon Essence LLC. If you are interested in setting up an appointment for one-on-one support, ordering from our store, or checking out our course offerings, visit our website at moonessence.life. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and get insider information on upcoming events and offerings. Join the conversation. Like and follow us at Moon Essence Me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Your voices make this program possible. Thank you all for your continued support.